I would advise people who are venturing into this business that it is not a job to do for long. Let me not lie. It affects your back. It is not good for your health. Yeah, let me not lie.
Okay.
That is the truth. Yeah. I cannot drive a chap-chap.
Mhm.
I'd rather drive this fuel guzzler. But I'll go like one trip and the chap-chap will go 4 trips to match me. So I'd rather maintain this. Though it's a bit of a guzzling, but if you get a trip, at least you will see something which will remain to you. Oh, my name's George Stephen Awere. I'm an automotive engineer by profession, but right now I'm an Uber driver.
Okay. So guys, thank you and welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we have a very experienced Uber driver, and I don't want us to waste any moment. I want him to introduce himself, and then we'll proceed with questions as we progress. So please introduce yourself.
My name's George Stephen Awere. I am an Uber driver for a period of like 10 years. Initially, I was employed. I'm also do machine operators. I operate machines. I did automotive engineering. And currently, I have no job because most of the companies I used to work for have migrated to other countries. Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. You have mentioned something that is very interesting, that you are an engineer by profession and you are here doing taxi driving. So we will come back to that. So you have said you have been driving taxi for 10 years.
10 years. Initially, I used to drive it as part-time, but now it's my full-time job.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as people can see, this is a big car. This is a XL. So this is a Toyota Sienta. So is this what you have been driving for the last 10 years, or you started with the lower categories and then you tried to upgrade?
Actually, this was my first car. And out of this car, I bought different cars. I have like 2 other cars which are being driven by other drivers, but I manage them. So generally, I've been into this for all this period of time, and I'm praying to God too, so that I migrate to a bigger one, like into a Noah or something, because Noah is nowadays having a lot of clientels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you say that you have other cars that you have given out.
Yeah.
So you not only drive, but you are also an employer.
Yeah.
So what can you say? Is this business profitable, or it is, a lower type of employment as people try to portray it?
Generally, this business creates employment, number one. Number two, what we are facing, what is making it a little bit difficult nowadays is the price of the gas. Because initially my drivers could give me like 10,000 per week, but it has gone down to 7,000 per week.
Okay.
So the gas issue has really affected this business. And also we have a lot of cars because a lot of people have quitted employment. They have joined Uber, Bolt, and etc. These app driving taxis. Yeah.
So nevertheless, is 7,000 sustainable? Can you say it is an amount that it is worth investing in the business for the small cars?
Actually, it is not sustainable so much because if you work in a month, nearly half of the money goes to repairs of the car and maintenance, plus insurance, remember. I pay insurance, I change tires, I do service of the car. All these I have to do them, like in a month I do them twice. So generally we get some peanuts, but we don't have an option. We don't have an option, and maybe until the fuel of gas will reduce.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now let us get into the XL category. How would you compare this with the small cars? I think 90% of the drivers you have interviewed in this channel are the chap category. We see it's the most populated section. There are so many cars. What can you say about this? Is there enough demand, or like how many trips do you make per day? Are you busy?
Let me not lie to you.
Yeah.
I cannot drive a chap chap.
Uh-huh.
I'd rather drive this fuel guzzler.
Uh-huh.
But I'll go like one trip, and the chap chap will go 4 trips to match me. So I'd rather maintain this. Though it's a bit of a guzzling, but if you get a trip, at least you will see something which will remain to you. So I'd rather drive this than to drive a chap chap.
Okay.
I'm even praying hard so that I get a bigger one. A bigger one like this, and hope that prices of the gas will go down. Yeah.
So normally, for the chap guys that we have interviewed, they have told us it's difficult to estimate how much they make on a day, on a normal day. But for like UberXL, for them they told us on average they can say they take home 2,500 after they deduct the commission and they deduct the fuel cost. So like for this one, how can you compare it to chap apart from the fatigue section where they have to do so many trips unlike yours?
So far, I'd rather drive this because if I work on a good day, though the income depends, it varies sometimes. Sometimes I can go up to like 5,000 a day or 4,000. Sometimes I can even get 10,000. It depends on the day. Sometimes you can get a client who pays you in foreign currency. Like I had an Indian client who lives in London. Any trip he was giving me 10 pounds. Any trip he was giving me 10 pounds. And in a day we could go like five trips. You see, that was a good luck on me. So you can't say. Sometimes you can even wake up late and make good money. Sometimes you can wake up very early and go without what you are expecting. But at least when you're out, you'll never miss. I've never missed a ride when I'm out on the field.
Okay.
At least you'll get something to take back to your family at home. And maybe for your maintenance too, and maintenance of the vehicle. But we're really praying about the gas going down. If the gas goes down, it will be much better.
Okay.
Because this job has employed so many people. So many people depend on it. Yeah.
So on general description, what type of customers order for XL? Because we know for the chap and the X category, it's normally people just walking around, people going to the market and back, people, dropping to various destinations which are not normally long distance. In general, what type of category of clients would order XL?
I do 2 categories.
Okay.
I do X and I do XL.
Okay.
And most of these trips, like 50% of these trips are dates, meaning that they are card trips. You're not paid immediately, you paid after a week. And most people who get these cars, maybe I can say, like if I'm in my home area, it's very rare to get a trip on Uber or UberXL, unless I move out of my home area, which is Komarok. Unless it is a holiday when people are moving in groups, that is when we also get trips around. But you have to waste some gas to go and work somewhere to get some money. Yeah.
Yeah. So on average per day, how many trips do you make on average? Or if you can tell us on your best day, how many trips do you make? On your worst day, how many trips do you make?
On my best day, I can make even 20 trips. On my worst day, I can make around 6.
So you say that apart from the car you drive, I assume it is yours, you own it. You say that you have others that you have employed drivers. So I would be interested to know, because at least we have met you as a driver and also an employer, what are the terms that you give to drivers in terms of, that management of the car? There are people who say, apart from the money they give to you on weekly basis, what other conditions do you give to the driver in terms of car maintenance, replacement, spares, damages? Are there special conditions that you give to your drivers to make sure that your car is safe?
Yeah, there are conditions you have to give your driver before he takes the car. Because in the first place, if I've not known you for long, you will be paying me each and every 2 days. It does not have to go for the whole week. If I've known you for long, you can be paying me weekly. But it also depends. sometimes, like if you go off trips, I watch them on my phone. They all have car trucks. So if you go out of metropolitan Nairobi metropolitan, you have to add me something because and if there's a traffic offense, which to me I would never allow my car to have a traffic or issue. You find a situation whereby a driver makes a U-turn. When he's arrested, he runs to you. No, you don't run to me when you're arrested doing a mistake. You see? Because I will make sure that the car has good tires, the car is well maintained, the insurance is up to date. So I don't want any excuse in my car. If you make a mistake which is on drivers, you take care of it. That is it. Yes, sir.
And on the side of damages, assuming that this car gets some dent or scratched by a motorbike or something, how do you handle it? Does he come to you or he repairs it himself?
He has to inform me if my car has an accident, whether slight or major. You have to inform me. It is me who gives you the right direction on what to do. If it is major, we'll go to insurance because we pay a lot of money on insurance. Yeah, we will go to insurance to repair. If it is minor, we can decide and talk and see on how we repair that car. But there are types of accidents. You do not knock another car and then expect me to be lenient on you. You see, if a boda scratches you and run away, that is understandable. You see, we can sit down and negotiate about that. But you don't knock another car and come to me and tell me that that guy was on the wrong. You must keep distance, you see. But in the long run, the insurance has to pay because we give a lot of money to insurance companies, yeah? So being a comprehensive, I deal with insurance. What I have to do is to make sure that I employ a driver who has the whole documentations. So in case of any accident, I don't have a problem with the insurance. Yes, sir.
And then because it seems you have very good and reliable drivers, how do you recruit them? Because I know this has been a nightmare to so many people who want to invest in this business. They get drivers and then within a very short time, they break apart. And then maybe they have drivers who mistreat them. They don't take care of cars. How do you recruit your drivers to make sure that you reduce the chances of, losing your money and your cars not being taken good care of?
Generally, first of all, I have two drivers. One driver has been driving my car for over 7 years. The other one has been there for 3 years. You see? Number one, give driver freedom. Give him freedom on the car. Provided that if he has to go out of the metropolitan, he has to inform you. Let him have the car. There's some employers who each and every Sunday they want the car. And that is when the driver can make money. During weekends most of the times. You see? So most of my drivers actually, my other car has been having one driver for 7 years. The other one had two drivers. I have a second driver because the other driver had got another job. He was employed somewhere. I even wrote him a recommendation letter. Yeah. The only thing on this job is that you have to give your driver freedom. If you have your tracking device, trust the driver. You have his papers. You have his documentation. He cannot steal your car. If he steals your car, you take him to police. You have to make sure that these documents are the right ones. Yeah. Give him freedom. Let him work. He will take the care he will take care of the car as if the car is his. You see, it's only giving a driver freedom and privileges. If he has a trip, he has to inform you. You see, I think that's all.
Yeah, I think that is very, very important. But maybe it comes from the perspective that you are a very experienced driver who understands that drivers need that freedom. But for newcomers into the industry who have bought their first car and given it to someone else, they can't imagine giving freedom to that person and that imagining they will never get back that car until maybe that driver leaves it. So what could be your advice to anyone who wants to invest in this business? First of all, in terms of the best car to purchase, there are people who have money. There are people who can buy a Noah, who can buy a Sienta. Others can only afford the small one. Assuming you are speaking to someone who has the money freedom to buy any size of the car and give it to a driver, what would be your advice to that kind of person?
I would advise anybody who want to buy a car to buy a bigger car. Because a bigger car consumes but at least you get some income. You see? And there's this issue of gas being installed in vehicles. I would not recommend that because this gas interferes with the combustion chamber. If they want our vehicles to use gas, let them bring vehicles which uses gas. You see, like we have the electric cars, which uses electric. Yeah. If it is a petrol car, let it use petrol. If you bring an issue of gas, I'm telling you, you will do some more experience on this or research. Or it interferes with the combustion chamber, the gas system. They tried to lure me too, but I said no, because I have experience in mechanical too. So the best advice I can give people is to invest on big cars so that you can get proper income.
Okay.
Yeah.
So assuming that this Sienta, you had given it to a driver, how much would he be remitting to you on weekly basis?
If I give someone a Sienta now, I think 15,000 or 16,000, that would be on a lower side. You see?
16,000 per week.
Per week. 16,000 per week. You see? Because I've done this practically. You see? If I work every day, I get more than that. So if I give someone like 16,000 could be like 2,000 per day, approximately, which it's on the lower side. Someone can go with this car from morning to evening and make 10,000. So you only give me 2,000 out of it. 2,000 per day. Yeah.
So maybe as we get close to ending this interview, so you have said that you have done this for 10 years.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? Do you feel like you will continue doing it as your retirement plan, or it's not something you intend to continue doing for a long time? And maybe for new taxi drivers, what advice can you give to them? Is it something someone can do for 30 years and maybe retire comfortably with good health, given that there are people who say, oh, back problems? How would you describe that?
I would advise people who are venturing into this business that it is not a job to do for long because it interferes with you physically too. You can do it for some time and get a better job to do. You can invest in something else after doing it and getting a capital. But generally, let me not lie, it affects your back. Because most of the time, you are inside the car. You see? Unless you go to an open place where you're sure you will not be harassed by kanjo, like where I am now. That is where I can get out of the car. But most of the times you are inside the car with the side mirrors and driving mirror looking everywhere. You're always on alert. Because we were provided drop and pick points in town. You'll never find even one. You will never find even one. Completely. I would advise anyone who is doing this business just to do it as a start, but it is not a long-term business. It is not good for your health. Yeah, let me not lie. That is the truth. Yeah.
So thank you very much. I don't know whether there is something else you can say as we wind up.
Well, I would just like to encourage my fellow Uber drivers to never give up. We only pray that one day, one time, our government will consider us, which they've never done. Price of fuel, at least if it goes down, and Uber commissions goes down, we pray hard so that at least we can get something to take home. So far, we live on hand to mouth. You see? We're praying that the government at least to intervene. We see them coming. Sometimes you see Murkomen going to Bolt office. We think things are going to change. He comes out, there's nothing has changed. I think sometimes they even bribe him so that, and he says, wachana na hiyo watu. You see? We've tried strike, we've tried everything. There's no way out. The commissions are too much and the rates are too low. So we're praying hard. Anybody who want to come in, you are welcome. Let us work together. And remember, should not be your retirement job. Yes. You should focus on something else. Yes. This is just for sustainability. Yes, sir.
All right. So thank you very much. And we wish you a good rest of the day and hope to see you soon.
I will always be available.
All right.
Thank you so much. Anytime you want me, Just I'm a phone call away.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dakika moja. I hope I get to fail. Yeah, iko sawa.